Alright, good morning everybody. I'm Old Man Sugarheart. Today we're playing more Final Fantasy XIV. And we are going to go do our warrior quest. Whee! Greetings, hope everyone's doing well. Also, you're getting a lurk since your chronic headache is still giving you grief. That's rough. Does your chronic headache ever go away? Because, it's probably your most common greeting. Also, welcome, Darth Chaos. Like, at least tell me it goes away in, like, different seasons or something. Looking the part. Well, welcome back, my friend. Oh, hey. Thank you for the follow, Starduster Gal. Welcome again, my friend. I was wondering when your travels would bring you back this way. Just so happens that I have some exciting news. I finally uncovered the clues pertaining to the whereabouts of the lost armor of my ancestors. As it turns out, after a fallen hero cast the 5 pieces from the mountaintop, 5 of his pupils set out to recover them, intending to restore their master's name. What's more, they were actually successful in this search. However, when it came to reuniting the set, the armor's great power began to work upon their minds, and not one could bring himself to relinquish his piece. After realizing then that their master's fatal pride was born of the artifact's combined influence, pupils resolved to keep the pieces separate and to share it between the 5, the power that might otherwise have consumed one. Thus did each of them carve his own place in history. Chronicles go on to say that years later, prior to death, each of the pupils returned to the scene of his own greatest victory and buried the artifact in his possession in a final attempt to prevent any one warrior from holding the set. And it is there that the pieces still rest. You may be interested to know that the armor I wear is itself a replica of the set crafted by my ancestors. Identical in all respects, save for its lack of arcane enhancements, enchantments that adorn the original. I know what you might be thinking. If we were to bring the 5 pieces together once more, what would prevent us from being corrupted in the same fashion? Well, I thought of that. What we need only do is trace the runes we find on the armor to every piece of warrior gear. That way, there would be no need to worry about a single proud fool becoming drunk on his all-surpassing power, as every warrior of the realm would be possessed by the self-same might. It's quite brilliant, if I do say so myself. So, how about we split up and begin the search straight away? 3 of the locations seem quite self-evident. I wouldn't trust the search there to you while I track down the 2 with the tome in hand. Let's see. Sorry, I'll read chat in just a moment. 1 piece is said to be buried under the great rocks of Boulder Downs in Corthus, while another slumbers peacefully at Camp Tranquil in the Southern Shroud. Last of the 3, untouched by Parada's piece in Western Thanalan. Unearth those 3 relics and bring them to me. With any measure of fortune, I'll have tracked down the remaining 2 by the time you return. Hawkeye. Hello, how am I doing? I'm doing great. Marie Edmonds, how are you doing? You just shared a gift with a Discord server not long ago? Oh, it's a cute one. One of these days, I'll set it so I can share Discord messages on stream a little easier. For now, everyone has to join the Discord. Suckers. Alright. We're going to Boulder Downs, Camp Tranquil, and Parada's place. All over the world. Let me see where to go first. Corthus. That's gonna be a walk. Is there any place anywhere near me? Of course not. about Camp Tranquil? Hey, that one I might be able to do. Quarry Mill. I had to branch and go south. It's gonna be lots of walks. It's actually the autism creature, also known as the Yippee creature and the TBH creature. Oh. Yippee! I'll have to do like a know your meme search for that one later. Where am I going? Not this way. Come on, get me out of here. Whew. Just came over from watching your Magical Delicacy series of videos. Oh, thank you. I really enjoyed Magical Delicacy. I'm gonna miss it. Like, I'm a sucker for a good cooking game. And there usually aren't many. There have been a few good ones this year. Like Cuisinier was pretty legit. I also like Kitchen Crisis, although that was more of a hidden gem. I think there's another one coming out in a couple of months called The Witch's Bakery. That one's sounding good. But before then it was like Battle Chef Brigade and that was it. Am I heading in the right direction? Where is Camp Tranquil? Oh, it's in the water. Ooh, how did you like the Magical Delicacy series? I felt like I should have probably done a little more of in-depth tutorials. What I did was add a bunch of like maps. Like, the hardest part of the game besides that is understanding how the flavors work. And there was a section in the in-game tutorial that explained that well enough, and I don't want to just... Oh! It's a frog! Or a salamander. They say he's an emerald salamander, but this is definitely a yellow spotted salamander. In theory, these critters live near where I live. I've never actually seen one in person. Might take a whack at it. You're sort of stuck in No Man's Sky right now? Ooh, that was the latest patch of No Man's Sky. They released a big one, which kind of like shocks me because I'm like, there's there is, ooh, is that Vesper Bay? I think it is. Yeah. You actually have a plushie that's based on the autism creature. Cute little thing. Aw. I'm excited. It won't be too long before I start making plushies. I don't know if they'll be successful. I think most of the plushie places I've found were places that were like, if you commit to spending money, and enough people do, then we'll make the plushies. Otherwise, everyone gets their money back and nobody gets any plushies. And so, you know, it'll probably be one like, oh, it didn't quite fund. But it'll be fun to try. And you know, in that case, we'll just try again later. Because I feel like my VTuber would make a very good little plushie. Don't mind me, toads. But yeah, No Man's Sky, they released a good patch recently that added a lot of content, if I remember right. I'm just really excited for Light No Fire. Like, I feel like the devs have done enough. They don't have to, like, keep adding to it. Alright. And then that last place is in Quarthus. It's been a long time since I've been to Quarthus. How does one get to Quarthus in a reasonable fashion? Mordona the Black Shroud. Or Ishgard? No. No. It looks like I have to go through the Black Shroud. Okay. We're going all over the world. The most recent update was really great. You're super busy visiting and playing the game and catching up on the new things. There were a lot of new things, man. So I got the stream started a little later today, and boy, the people are out today. It's weird, the server always seems full, but there's a lot of people out in Limsa Lominsa now. Like, there's always like a little wait for like 5 people whenever I sign in. But somehow those people don't feel real. But yeah, if I remember right, the latest No Man's Sky update like really improved like the visuals and the environment, which is kind of like one of the things I wanted them to improve on like way earlier. Sean Murray said in an interview like they wanted to add cool things to the planet like volcanoes and stuff like that, but they were worried about like blowing up players' existing bases that they've worked on for a long time. And I'm like, I get that, but you would make the game so much cooler for a large group of people. I know so many people are very vocal about, like, being afraid to lose their progress. I'm not one of them. If you need to nuke my save to make the game better, you can do that as long as you're not doing that every week. Enjoy your stream. Not really familiar with Final Fantasy games, but I'll look back in another time. Have a good day. You have a good day too. I mean, Final Fantasy XIV is not like any other Final Fantasy game. I mean, there's a lot of old familiar faces and the like. But for the most part, this is closer to WoW than it is Final Fantasy. Except in my opinion, it is much better. Is one of these in the Black Shroud? Alright, help me. There we go. Okay, we zoom out. There's the North Shroud, East Shroud, Central, South? Where's the black? Quarthus, Fallgord Float. Can you take me to Fallgord? Yeah. Or at least I don't think this is anything like Final Fantasy games. I haven't played a new Final Fantasy game since like 13.2. Like, I skipped 15 and 16. 16's coming out on Steam very soon if it's not out already. I heard good things about them, but like, I didn't like the direction they were heading in. Like, I gave them all a chance, but after 10, I didn't like the action combat. Like, I might be a little old school, but I like the turn-based thing. I wanted... Playing an RPG is kind of like reading a book. And I kind of want, like, a more peaceful experience. Okay, so... Mandacorthus... Just go out this way. Hop on my fat chocobo. Ooh, Corthus. So Corthus is like where Heavensward takes place, or at least deep in there. You can go into this area and kind of like get a peek at it. It'll be very snowy, very cold in that expansion. Alright, am I gonna fight a dragon? This looks like my hometown. It's all so familiar. Whew. Anyway, yeah, I tend to prefer like the turn-based combat of like old RPGs. I should be following the river. Leave me alone. This area is like the first one that's actually matched my level in a while. Whenever I do the warrior quest, it's gonna be like level appropriate. Because the EXP boosts have made like the main story quests like way beneath me. Which is fine. I'm looking forward to the part where we make it to Heavensward with the EXP boost. Alright. Mud puppies. You guys look a lot like the emerald salamanders. Is there a lore reason why warriors hate salamanders, I wonder? Oh, right. Hey, I see you. Coming down here? I'll fight you in the waterfall. That was the first time I've ever used the skill Vengeance. Not even sure what that skill does. Alright. I got all the things. Take me to Costa del Sol. What would I say is my favorite RPG? So I can never go back to it because it'll never be as fun as the first time I played it, but Grandia 2 was probably one of my favorite, or might be my favorite RPG ever. Aside from that, Octopath Traveler 2 is really good, and I'd strongly recommend that one. I played that one on stream, but I never finished it. I feel bad about that. I'm kind of bad about RPGs. I don't finish them, and I don't think I probably will until I can make streaming my full-time job. Otherwise, I get distracted by other things, and I lose track of where I am in the story, and then I'm like, I need to start over. How fares your search, old? Have you found aught of my tribe's ancient relics? Should you have the 3 pieces of armor, don them and show them to me. Oh, okay. How do I look? Ah, old. That you found this gear is most gratifying. But what I truly would fancy is to see you in it. Wait, stand still for a moment. The armor becomes you that I could not tell you had it on it at first glance. But now I have no doubt. I sense the power of these runes inscribed on each piece resonating within your soul crystal. This is the long-lost armor of the warrior. I too have found one of the relics, but I have run into an unexpected rub. When I donned the piece, I felt nothing, as if the lost treasure were no different from an unadorned replica's and already in my possession. Whether the power has been lost to it or must needs be awakened by means yet unknown to me, I cannot say. The ancient texts still hold many mysteries beyond my ability to decipher. But before I forget, I should mention to you that I did indeed track down another piece before I was waylaid by this current conundrum. You should find it sealed away in the Red Mantis Falls. Hawkeye. The Red Mantis Falls. Where might that be? Wait, here? Okay. I managed to track down another piece. It's next door. You're really bad at finishing RPGs? Yeah. Streaming is helping keep you accountable for actually finishing them. Yeah. I was. That just occurred to me like after I said it out loud. I'm like, hold up. If I lose track of the story, like I record all my videos and I upload them to YouTube. If I want to pick up Octopath Traveler 2 again, all I need to do is look at like my last 2 videos and be like, oh, that's where I was in the story. It's all coming back to me. So maybe we can go back. I did finish an RPG recently. By recently, I mean like within the last year. I picked up like Witch Spring R. And it was pretty good. Like I had fun with it. It wasn't one of the best RPGs I ever played, but it kept me engaged all the way through to the end, which is fairly rare. I think part of that was you can have like different sorts of builds. You kind of like choose which angle you're going to go to early in the game. And I think I had the most overpowered build. I like these pretty red flowers. Like glowing red lavender. I like it. Hey, it's the thing. But you haven't actually checked out Grandia 2. I do recommend it. There's an enhanced edition. I think it just comes with like a few extra cutscenes. I think they did like an HD remake. So that if like the old Dreamcast version doesn't look graphically up to your standards, do not fear. There's a solution. I mean, it still probably looks old, but it's still a goodie. Hey, I got a new hat. Yeah, just as I thought, my chest piece looks pretty good with this armor. I look like a warrior. I look like I'm straight out of Monster Hunter. Apparently they have it for Nintendo Switch, so that would definitely be an easy to get. Oh, I recommend it. The characters had a lot of personality. I ended up caring about them all pretty well. There's so many things I want to spoil for you. Like, it gets weird in a lot of places. We're going to Hidden Falls. Are you coming along? Yeah. You've been playing Langrisser and Growlancer recently? Old graphics are something you actually love? Nice. I'm finding I have less and less tolerance for them. Like, there's a really great farming sim that came out recently. It was like, Fields of Mystria. And while I've heard nothing but great things about it, like, I look at it and I'm like, it doesn't look that good. I don't want to be like a graphics snob. And there's definitely times when I will play like old school graphics games. But I've noticed it's become something that can stop me from enjoying a game. I see your search was a fruitful one. I'm pleased to say I have also gleaned some insight into why the armor I found seemed devoid of power. As I alluded to, the ancient warrior's armor derives its power from a concordance between the incantations engraved on the steel itself and the inner beast of the wearer. But my own resonance with the plating was too weak as to allow a proper connection with it. And now I think I know why. My soul crystal. It once burned bright like yours, but since the events at Wineport has been reduced to a lifeless husk. Why this happened, I cannot say, but the tome is quite clear about what would happen were the powers of the armor to be bestowed upon one whose soul is weak. The inner beast would devour the mind of the wearer and would go on a mindless rampage that would end only with the mercy of death. Yes, not unlike the crazed fiends we battle. I believe that the armor sensed my weakened state, foresaw the potential danger, and then knowingly shut off its powers to me. And I dare say we are fortunate that it did. I feel as though an apology is in order at this juncture. I must tell you, I left this final piece of armor where I found it. The breastplate is as the piece closest to the warrior's heart, has powers far greater and more dangerous than the other pieces. Uncertain as I was to the reason for my being unable to connect with the plate's mystical energy, I feared to take it I feared to take it would mean imperiling both myself and those around me. Your soul burns stronger than mine, yet I still worry for your fate were you to put it on. Look deep within yourself, old. When you find yourself ready, and then, and only then, come speak to me again. Okay.